That stuff was 20 years ago. I've moved on. I'm on a trap. Yeah, I'm on a trap.
Ik weet alles.
I'll identify them. Thank you, guys. But, thank you very much. But,
What is he talking?
don't waste your time, people. Okay, au revoir. And use your degrees. It ain't good being jealous. If you see someone that is doing better than you can do two things. You can either try and overtake them, or just throw up your hands and admit they're better, and just sit down. When you get jealous, you're only rotting your heart. Your heart becomes rotten. And then you start to become unlucky. You start to do things that become unlucky. Because you don't respect those that are working on an agenda. And you feel with your little cheap shoes that you should be more advanced. But you're not working. You're not working. You're not working for advancement. It's a damn shame. I didn't come in to say that. I've got my topic. But I just wanted
Men så mye som dreier seg om religion, altså.
Thou art the Son of righteousness, revealing in thy wings. Doesn't matter what kind of terminal disease you've got. You know, one thing that Jews and Gentiles have got in common is that we were all born with a terminal disease. The number one killer disease in human history is what? Well, if I ask most of you what the number one killer disease in human history is, you look at me with a blank expression. Is that right? Does anybody know what it is?
Yes.
What's the number one killer disease?
Lower back pain.
No, you're wrong.
God.
What is it?
God.
No. Come on, wake up. Surely somebody among you here today knows not what the number one killer disease in human history is. If you take all the corpses out of the graves and you stack them up and do an inquisition and find out what the cause of their death is, you'll find out that that's the cause. The number one killer disease is something that you're quite comfortable with, most of you. You're in bed with it. It's your friend. What is it? Thank you. Hey, listen, let me give you a present for that. You know, I don't give gold stars here, but I give silver coins. That's for you. Thank you. So that lady got it absolutely right. It's a thing called sin. Now, you're going to give me another blank expression when I say to you, what is it? Well, does anybody know what it is? Okay, let me help you out. Have you ever lied? What a deafening silence that says yes. Have you ever stolen anything? I mean, all of these are breaking God's laws. Have you ever looked at a woman lustfully? Yes. So, you know, we're getting a whole load of affirmatives here. What does that tell me? It tells me you're a bunch of criminals. You're criminals, man, and you stand around like you're law-abiding citizens. Well, you may keep the laws of the land, but what about the laws of your Maker? You publicly acknowledged that you have broken his laws. You're sinners. So on the day of judgment, this is a moral universe. It's a day of reckoning. You've got to answer for everything you've done and said on this earth. How are you going to do? Is God going to send you to heaven or hell? You've all acknowledged that you've broken his laws. So where's he going to send you? Huh? Hello? Yeah. So why are you so comfortable about going to hell, man? Oh, you know, how many of you harbor a secret hope in your heart and you say, well, God don't understand. I'm kind of a good person, really. Are you? You just acknowledge publicly you're a criminal. You've broken God's laws. So how can you be good? Excuse me, the standard that God has set for the Jew and the Gentile, for the whole human race, is the standard of the life of Jesus Christ. How do you measure up to his life? We all fall short of it. One of his titles is the King of Israel. We all fall short of the life of Jesus Christ, the King of Israel. So what am I saying to you? It's bad news. I gave you the bad news first, that may the conviction of God come upon you no matter what Holocaust he's going to bring you through to save you from that eternal Holocaust that you're headed to.
That's the measure of how much Almighty God expects of you. Adding to that, we never die, and all of these cowardly actions that have made you sell out are waiting for you when you leave your body behind. Get over your love affair with yourself. I tell you now, man, whether he's rich or poor, male or female, black or white, or anything between, is the wickedest, most selfish, godless, destructive creature walking this earth. And it makes perfect sense that if Almighty God's going to sort his world out, he does one thing very simple. He gets rid of the people in it that are causing the problem. And if you weren't so ignorant, you would know that there have been vast numbers of books given to what were called the prophets right through the ages, warning you of this. But you're so busy sticking your noses in your own little trough with your pathetic little world that you haven't a clue that Almighty God always warns you, but you are not interested. On your judgment day, you are going to be shamed at how much Almighty God tried to keep you from harm, and you have not been interested because of your own selfish, godless, earthbound focus. You are going to agree,
and when we wanted to be able to set up our rights, we were shot and killed, and now we say, okay, we want a few of us to go into these schools, go into these businesses, be represented in civil law or criminal law as lawyers or doctors. We want a quota system so we can reverse the racism that had happened in the past. We are being told that this is reversing racism. Because you, who's supposed to have Bibles and Torahs in your hands, supposed to be God-fearing people, you went to a land, Africa, or China, or India, and you acted like devils. You didn't act like the angels and the saints.
Can I ask my question again? All of these things you say, does that allow racist rules?
It's not racist law.
It's not racist.
Balancing the wrongs that you had did before.
Can I give you the example again? Under thing, sports team, it's got to have 75% black players in by law. That's not racist.
No.
Children. I have to explain to myself.
No. You know why?
You know not better than you.
You know why? Because for almost 70 years, you are abused.
Yes, I'm asking.
I have not given you the answer. You don't like the answer.
Laws acceptable because of
It's because, sir, you had started these schemes off the blood and sweat and tears of oppression. As I said in the beginning, sir, you started and built that country off the blood of other people. And because you had built that country off the blood of other people, not off your own sweat, Israelites is because you have abused other people. Hey, that's a different story. I want you to tell your son, you know what? Our forefathers came into this land. Our forefathers raped, murder, and theft. And because of the rape and the murder and the theft, 75% of everybody on this soccer team has to be African to upbuild the balance. Because you know why? Almost 70% of this country is African. No, it's not what's done is done. No. It can be undone. And this is how we can undo it.
But he wouldn't have a vote. No voting.
There's 10 people. This is the way it was worked out last year.
Slowly,
Probably a bit different now, but
What do you give me in return?
I have. But, you know, every community that's ever lived in this world tried to govern. In the olden days, there was a tribe, and one strong man came to the top of the tribe. It's probably only about 20 people. And then as time got bigger, you had the pharaohs and the other. It was usually one person, always nearly a man, who was the dictator. And a little experiment with the Greeks, and later one with the Americans, led us to believe that maybe it's better if we have a democracy where we elect people to govern our country, and we govern through them. And I believe democracy is better at the moment. And I'm really not being anti-American here. We've got a system where one country acts as world police, and currently it's America. America decides, I don't like Osama bin Laden, so I'm going to invade Afghanistan. I don't like these brown-skinned Muslims who got bombs on Twin Towers, so I'm going to invade Iraq. That's wrong. And it hasn't worked. And it's awfully expensive. Human life and endowment. There's got to be an alternative. We say the alternative is creating a government which represents the whole of humanity. And then there would be a peacekeeping force for the whole of humanity.
Would Bin Laden go along with it?
Pardon?
Would Bin Laden go along with it?
With Bin Laden.
I'm saying, he was put in with the rules about trouble.
I've always
why should he go along with them?
I've always been trying to find some similarity between you and Osama bin Laden, and now we've done it. He wouldn't go wrong with it either. No, I think you're right. He wouldn't. And you wouldn't go along with it. He wouldn't go along with it. But I think the majority of people in this world are not actually opposed to the ideas I'm putting forward. You've heard it long enough. You probably know.